Yo, what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN. Today is probably one of the days you've been waiting for, which we are finally going to be showing you the Kingdom Power stats. We'll show you 60, 100, and 200 million player stats from the Kingdoms. We'll also be showing you finally a completely full list for all 255 kingdoms within the G2 KvK pool, which is the largest Kingdom KvK pool to date in the game thus far. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up, because that was a lot. Thanks. So there's going to be a number of things we'll be doing. I do want to get one announcement out of the way, which is that I will be live streaming the group announcements on Friday around 23 UTC. I'm going to be aiming for 23 at the earliest, maybe 23:30, but it'll be up to an hour before reset. And I'll be live. I'll have updated numbers, and then we'll plug and compare like we do, right? So once the groups are announced at reset, we'll plug all the groups in, and then we'll start looking at what the potential matchups could be, getting thoughts and feedback, doing some votes from you guys, the community, to see which ones you guys like the most. And we might even do one of those leading up to that for maybe one of the days prior to Friday. So we'll see. Okay. Those are my announcements. Let's go ahead and get into it. So as a quick recap, we got 149 kingdoms that registered for Winners Upon Us, 47 that registered for Calling of Courage, and the remaining skipped. I will be porting over, and I'm going to show you these numbers bottom up too as well, just so you do have those. Again, we didn't end up. Oh, jeez. Oh yeah, still no king. Good. Okay. For a minute, I was tripping for a sec because I got to the bottom. Like you see, I did these ones here, but I got to the bottom and I was like, oh my God, am I gonna have to restart? Because no, but I already looked and they still had no king. I checked this yesterday. Okay. So I was having a moment. I was worried. I was like, oh my God, no, I have like 15 more kingdoms I gotta go through. Jeez. Okay. This is the master sheet. I will be porting over all the data that I have pulled so far, and I've had to do this manually. Again, we did hear back from Fuzzy yesterday, or I think earlier this morning. So hopefully there's a chance I might get a recent scan before the groups are announced, if not maybe afterwards. So again, I'm going to cross my fingers. But again, as always, whenever he is able to, right, that's when we'll get one. Okay. So as I was saying, if you want to get access to the sheet, the public one, where I'm going to port over all the data from this master one, I'll do that probably tomorrow, and I'll put it up. I'll put it over there on the 8th. You can join the Discord for that. Link in the pinned comment description down below. Go to reaction roles when you join. It's going to be Call of Dragons. This one right here. You'll scroll down. You might not have to scroll down as much as I do. Click on the Call of Dragons header. You'll go to COD data stats, and it's going to be the number one here. It's already there, so you just got to open it. But again, I'll have everything updated on that portion. Okay. Let's work our way up. So again, these are all the kingdoms that still had no king as of yesterday after registration had finished. So I don't think that there's going to be something massive happening there, right? Where they probably would have got a king and then had a massive influx of people or big influx of people coming in. This is number. So just to be clear here, I finished looking at everyone who registered. So this is a full list you're going to see for all 255 kingdoms, right? Minus the ones that don't have a king or queen to register. On did they go for COC? Did they do WIUU, or basically Calling Courage Winner Upon Us, or did they skip? And then I looked at powers. So if you had an alliance that was at 1 billion plus, then I just added those together and came up with kind of a quick kingdom power. Again, it's not going to be as accurate as a top 300 or a top 600, but it's going to be pretty close. And then if you were under 1 billion power, I just took whatever the strongest, highest powered alliance was and then put that there. I also had to manually do this, right? So people really understand. I had to go into each kingdom, had to watch this comeback tutorial for a lot of them, and then I had to go into the alliance page, go into the player page, scroll, look at 60, 100, 200 million plus, but basically the opposite because it's going down. It starts higher and then goes lower. You guys get where I'm going with this. So yes. So anyways, these are the numbers, right? So, and this is ordered in 1 billion plus ascending order, right? So again, I'm just going to kind of go through. I'll show you guys all the stuff. As I stated, the ones that are in orange, I'm going to go through. So I'll do another video on this probably tomorrow. I have to go through and look at what the current migration points are for all the kingdoms to see like what the fluctuation is, who got some people, who lost some people, which kingdoms are purely rebuilds, because I want to also talk about that before the groups are announced, because I think that would be a really cool video to touch on as far as like who went where, who's trying to rebuild what, just to try and give, some shout outs and love to those peeps. But again, you'll see here for all those. And again, we'll kind of work our way up to the top as we go. You'll see some, as I said, some that are kind of spread out as far as that are oranges. You're going to be able to see everyone here. You'll also notice that the 60 mil plus, 100 and 200 mil pluses are going to keep going up and up, right? We're at basically a little over 3 billion right now for our top 180, or I guess a little bit more than that. And then as we get to the top 164, we're at 4 billion plus at the moment. Right now, you can kind of see like 3 potential rebuilds in sight. Now we're getting closer to our top 150, but now we're breaking 5 billion plus power for the top 145 kingdoms. So this is still pretty accurate. Remember, we did the top 155, which put us at about 4.5 bill. That is pretty good for us just going off of what we were as migration points once the registration period started. And we were able to pull those migration points on day one, I believe within the first 12 hours. So for me, I feel like I could tap myself on the back and we did a decent job there as far as pulling those. And then we'll work our way almost to the top 100 now, right? Getting a little past 6 billion. Now we're at 7 billion plus for the top 116 kingdoms that you can see here as we're getting a little bit closer there to 8 billion plus. Numbers are still kind of like, you can see a little fluctuating, but like 40 to 60, 40 to 65 for 60 mil pluses, right? Not too many 200 mil plus accounts. And now getting into the top 90, you can see now we're breaking that 8 bill threshold at 101. And then also if we look at number 94, right, meaning 94 kingdoms at 9 billion plus, getting really close now to the 10 bill plus mark. But even look at this, right? Like not too many 200 mil plus players. There's one right here, right from Kingdom 226. As we work our way up, we're now getting, again, by breaking 10 bill, right? So 83 kingdoms here you can see that are at 10 bill plus. And then we get 73 kingdoms at 11 billion plus, right? So again, still not too many 200 mil plus players. We got 3 though in 85, which I believe is PTW. And then you got some sporadic ones spread out a little bit there. As we then work our way up a little bit more here, you can see now we're breaking 12 billion plus, which is Kingdom 27, right? Laws, they're at 65 kingdoms, meaning 12 bill and higher. We have 54 kingdoms at 13 bill and higher. Now you're seeing the 200 pluses like WAO, right? 7 200 mil pluses there in 92. And again, getting closer to 14 bill as well now. As we work our way up, right? Getting close to that top 20. A couple notes here, right? Again, I will be updating the statuses. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to pull the migration points probably tomorrow. So I guess I probably should update that and put 8. I may also do an updated status, but I'm at least going to do upgraded migration. And then I might just update the status after I do it based on the 8th. But you could see here, right? 49 kingdoms, 14 bill plus higher, 42 kingdoms at 15 bill plus higher. And then we have 38 kingdoms, 37 kingdoms at 16 bill plus, 34 at 17 bill plus, and 31 kingdoms at 18 bill plus, right? 200 mils, getting a little bit closer, but a lot. Right now we're getting like mid 150, 200s on 60 mil plus. Okay. And I'm going to pause here because once I go higher, we'll be showing you the top 20. So right now you have 24 kingdoms at 19 bill plus. And then again, we're really close to 20 bill plus at the moment. But again, the number of 200 mils, right, getting a lot higher here at that point. Okay. Now we're going to show you the top 20 and then we'll let you guys have a good time with it. So we have 19 kingdoms at 20 bill plus. We have 14 kingdoms at 21 bill plus. Also keep in mind, this is not every single kingdom that would technically be here within this top power set. There are some kingdoms that are outside of the G2 pool that would be in arguably a top 25 kingdom list. Even if this may include many or quite a few of them, it is still not full. And yes, I do realize that my daughter is putting her hand on behind the thing. She's enjoying the green screen. Then we get 11 kingdoms here at 22 bill plus. We got 7 kingdoms at 23 bill plus, 6 at 24 bill, and then only 2 kingdoms above 28 bill, right? So again, top down, we got BTX estimated to be number 1, RAC2, Echo 3, SSG 4, ROG 5, EIL, EIS 6. We got NA 30 at number 7, RFF number 8, NF57 9, SG 97 10. And again, right, if we look at the potential matchups here, right, as most of these are winners, I mean, you look at this, the top 20 are winners upon us, right? What's crazy is if I scroll down, 314, meaning the top 27 kingdoms are winners upon us based on power, right? So Sheesh or Squiggly Eyes is the first one that would be COC. And then look at the spread here, block, and then you would have 193, right? So if you were to put 4 kingdoms in COC together, it would probably be 314, 18, 193. Thank you, sweetie. And then 45, right? And so you got those 4 kingdoms you could potentially see being in the first COC group together. Again, DYH skip, right? They'd be the next strongest one there, 163. They're at about 15.5 billion power. But you could arguably see these 6 right here, right? Which would be BTX, REC, Echo, SSG, ROG, EILEIS, maybe even swap in 30. I mean, that could be a banger KvK. Even if you look at the next group, which is where we go into 12, I mean, you're looking at NA, RFF, NF57, SG97, WA25IW. Again, very close in power, right? Numbers are not that far off. Like this could be another really good group. You look at this one here, right? Which would be BDO, TFS, KOV, IWG, Luno, WGL. I mean, again, the powers are really close. This would be fun to kind of tinker with and see like what would the matchups potentially be like. I think those are some, if you're just kind of looking at your top 3, even if you wanted to go to top 4 and look at this from 19 to 24, you got O5DK, A2G, FG, POTC, UHA. I mean, again, very close. This is what happens, and this is the point I'll end on, because my grooming session is getting intense now. Thank you, Mia. Is that you have a situation where, what do we talk about? The more kingdoms that you have in the same KvK kingdom pool allow for you to have a more overall, a higher percentage chance of having a more balanced and fair matchup. And if it's any indication so far with how these are looking or how they could be looking, again, I think the potential is high for us to get another fantastic season of KvK groups and fighting. And again, I can only imagine how much more it would have been if we had the remainder, but I still think the top 27 kingdoms is not bad now that we really look at it and we see that 28th and below is really where you start seeing the differences in COC. I would argue that this is still a big win for the G2 group as a whole because the majority of the top kingdoms went to the same scenario. And as I've stated before, I don't care which scenario you go towards. My whole thing is whichever one you pick, just have that be the one that the majority of kingdoms go to. Because that's where you get opportunities like this for exactly what we saw happening last season in Rise of the Dragon, where we got so many KvKs that had a high percentage chance of having good, balanced, and fair gameplay throughout the season, and the majority of them actually followed through on that and lived up to that hype. So hopefully we'll get another chance this season around, regardless if people enjoy the 2 options or not. I'd love to know what you guys think. Which groups are you most potentially excited about? And any other stats and stuff you'd like to see leading up. And hopefully we'll catch you for the live stream on Friday. That's going to be it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.